Hello and welcome to Coug Fan TV. We have a special guest this morning with us with the Gardner Minshew news breaking. Ed Easton Jr., Kansas City beat writer and host at the Chiefs Wire. Also a news producer for 1010 Wins Radio in New York. Want to appreciate you for jumping on with us this morning. And, we'll cut right into it. Gardner Minshew, it seemed like didn't really have an opportunity to start somewhere this year, so it felt like he kind of took the best backup role he possibly could take. Do you kind of feel the same way there?
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way. Just looking at what Minshew had to go through with the Raiders, obviously the injury knocked him out. He was the best option at quarterback last year for Vegas, and just the situation he was in. And I'm not trying to be biased because obviously I cover the Chiefs, but the Raiders situation was never going to work out for him being a quarterback there. I think for him, in terms of his stock at wanting to be a starting quarterback again, that may have gone out the window because of what happened last year. Going to the Chiefs was the best option because he's still going to get paid by the Raiders. They still have to finish out that contract, so he's still going to get paid. He took less to play for the Chiefs, be a backup to Mahomes. The Chiefs kind of went in a different direction. They usually get like a mentor quarterback or an older quarterback to be the backup, but they kind of figured since Mahomes has been in the league, is a two-time MVP, let's get a guy that's around his age, a guy that can just come in right away and play. So I think for Minshew, it was a great situation for him. I don't know how often he's going to play, but with Patrick's injury history, I think he's in a good spot.
Is there any contract details that have been leaked out yet? And what's your expectation on what he makes with the Chiefs?
It's going to be pretty much the bare minimum. It's a 1 year deal, so for the most part, it's like I said, it's like a prove it deal. He has to see if whether or not he's a guy that can be a starter in the future. We don't know how often he's going to play, so a lot of stuff you're going to see from him in terms of how he's going to be scouted is what he does in the preseason. I think a big thing, and I kind of had to base it off what Carson Wentz did last year. He was such a big presence behind the scenes. That's what he got a lot of praise for, even though he wasn't playing in many games. And the only game he played was the game that didn't matter, which was Week 18 against the Broncos. So I think that even though it was only one game and he didn't play that well, it helped his stock. Where I think he's going to get a look from different teams. I think for Minshew, is like I said, it's a prove it deal. See if he still has it. Can he be a guy that could be a starter in this league? And one of the benefits of having him is that he's able to pick up new offenses so quickly because he's done his entire career dating back to college before he got to Washington State. So I just think that's the situation he's in right now.
Yeah, very similar. We didn't even think he was going to be a starter when he was first brought in with Jarrett Quintanamo of Tennessee, and he beats him out, the Eastern Carolina transfer. What does it say about what Coach Reed wants? Yeah, Gardner, he's now starting to kind of be a veteran in the league. Those years with the Jaguars, had a good year backing up Jalen Hurts with the Eagles, and goes his own way with the Colts, misses the playoffs by a game. But what's it say? I mean, can we say he's a veteran now?
Yeah, I think it's more than fair to say he's a veteran. I mean, this is a guy that threw over 20 touchdown passes in the NFL. He's been in since 2019. I think it's about time. I think, obviously Washington State, everyone's going to remember his memorable run playing there, but he's done enough in this league to pretty much earn that respect. He's played every time he's been a backup, so he knows how to come in and just make something happen. Andy Reid, from conversations in the past, he's always been big on guys that have like this it factor that you can't really describe. You saw that with Carson Wentz. In the past, Blaine Gabbert was a guy that they brought in for a year. When you look at a guy like Minshew, I think he's the ultimate it factor guy, where you don't know, what you'll get sometimes, but when you do give him a chance and actually let him play for a while, more often than not, he's going to do good things. So I just think for Andy Reid, they wanted a guy that they know could come in right away, be a gunslinger, come in and play the game. In case of Mahomes going down, and Mahomes had injury issues the last 2 years, so it's always a possibility. But it's just somebody that can come in right away and run the offense.
What's it say about Kansas City Brass and kind of their Wazoo love? Obviously, in the secondary, Jalen Watson has turned into a really good corner for them, a bigger corner. You have Jaden Hicks, his rookie year last year. So those are two Cougs. And, now three's a party with Gardner Minshew.
Oh, I think there's a lot of great stuff going on in Washington State. That's the main reason why. You talk about Jalen Watson, like you said, he was the second best corner on the team. Injuries have really slowed him down, but when he's healthy, he's right there next to McDuffie, and he was a very important player for them in the early part of the season, and then the injury kind of knocked him out until about the postseason starting. He wasn't playing at 100%, but he's a guy that they have high expectations for going into 2025. Then you got a guy like Jaden Hicks, rookie season last year. I thought he made some great plays. He looked very good in preseason. That's one of those things where you thought he was possibly knocking on the door of being a starter right away. Now with Justin Reed moving on to New Orleans, this could open up an opportunity for more playing time for Hicks, but just a very talented player. So it's something going on in Washington State. I mean, you're talking about the Cougars, man. They got some great players coming out there. Now the Chiefs get probably one of the more famous ones with Gardner Minshew at the quarterback position. But on defense, they've really loved Washington State defensive backs.
Yeah, we talked to one of our offensive tackle prospects, Esapole, played in the East West Shrine game. Didn't get the invite, excuse me, to the combine, but he told our beat writer he has a meeting set up with Kansas City. So we'll see if four end up there. Kyle Williams is our other NFL draft hopeful, but Ed Easton Jr., you can catch him at the Chiefs Wire, correct?
Yes, Chiefs Wire.
Correct. So, Cougs, this season, check out Ed and his work at the Chiefs Wire. I'm sure there's going to be some Jalen Watson, Hicks, and Minshew stories on the way. Thank you for your time today, Ed. We appreciate it.
Thank you.